seat. Wow, it's like with Hannah sitting in front of the coach and everyone is looking at us. Oh, you see.
So, brother, how are you?
That's not doing well.
How do you feel today that you're launching your own film? Are you excited? Happy?
Yeah, I'm very happy and I'm very happy and I'm okay and I'm blessed for this birthday.
So, the title of the book is Mysteries and Power of Prayer and Intercession. So, how did you come up with this title? Did you get it as a revelation?
Okay, yes, of course, it was a revelation and which didn't start yesterday, since 2015. Still remember it was on a certain Wednesday. I was in prayer at the time and I supposed to have some service over here and I was just praying and praying and praying, and on that same day God revealed something to me. He spoke to me that he got to write a book and he mentioned the title, and without knowing what I would write in the same day, the same prayer, the same hour, the same minute, that spoke to me that when you go in front of my people, you shall ask them to give a seed. I'm going to favor them. And with that money, you decorate my house, for I want my house to be in honor. And today, that day, on that same day, I received the message of my book. I also received the message to my discomfort and catalyst receive.
Wow, that's amazing. So, for those who do not believe God can speak, he spoke to him about the book and gave him the title. So God can also speak to you about anything. You just have to be humble and accept whatever he's telling you. So, Brother Roger, who inspired you, or maybe what inspired you to come write a book, to become an author? Or was it a dream maybe from when you were ill, or something came up maybe?
Not really a dream, because in high school I wasn't a good student in French. So I was very good until today. I know mathematics, but I didn't love subjects like geography, philosophy, all things that require you to read. I'm not there. Give me calculations, problems, I will resolve. So I can say it was a gift, but I came to understand something when I became I had a calling, that there is a way to increase your capacity. You get the pastor just preaching. The Bible says that the parable of the talent is, the Bible says there was a certain man who, before he traveled, he gave to his servant, not as he wishes, but the Bible says according to their own capacity. So I understood that I can increase my capacity and I can use what God is giving me by grace. So to write a book, I've never dreamed that I'll become an author. Even me also, I'm surprised to become an author.
But as for me, I'm dreaming of one day writing a book. So can you tell me, maybe is it a gift, a talent, or anyone of the congregation do it, or maybe for special people who are talented, gifted from God?
Yeah, I can still answer if it can be a gift or not. I'm going to try to answer by this way. I've been reading the Bible for so long time. There are men of God that move in the ministry by the did it right. For example, we have 12 apostles, but when you read, few only wrote in the epistle or gospels. We have many prophets, but it's not all the prophet. There's no a book which is called the book of Elijah, but he's a major prophet. There is no a book called the book of Elisha, but there is a book of Isaiah. There is a book of Jeremiah. That means it depends on how the person receives it. There are some books you will see God is talking to the prophet, write these things. Like John said, write these things and send them to the 7 churches. So there are some people they are writing because God has instructed them. But there are some people they have it that desire to write. And whenever they inquire God, God can let them to write. But for me, I didn't know that I would become an author one day, but people keep prophesying that to you, right? And just to tell a story, because people will say, this is my book, my first book. Yeah, it is a first book published. But before I tried it twice to write a book and it was not working. To let people that it's not everything that you start today, you finish today. In some time, you can try and fail. But your failure becomes permanent when you get discouraged. For 2 years, I tried, but I didn't.
So those books which you wrote by that time, maybe you didn't complete them, not half of them, or what happened, maybe the idea just perished then.
Yeah, so I will try to answer. The first book which I wanted to write, to be just frank, it was because I understood that period so much, I wanted to write. I wanted to write a book on discipleship because I understood it is something that God has given, I wanted to write because God has given me. Then it was not okay. Then the second book I wanted to write, it was also based on, because I have at least the grace in that area, I wanted to write a book on meditation. And I found that at the end of all, you become able, not because you are used to. You become able in the spiritual things when God allows you to do. In the things that I'm talking in the book, in this CSF, I'm not the prayerful man. But I am the first to write the book on prayer. So it doesn't mean that when I write a book of prayer, I'm the prayerful man. No. I know people that can pray, I know that I respect their grace. But because God has allowed me, that's why I have written.
So brother, as a student, we do lots of things to do. So how did you manage your time and schedule to write a book?
Yeah, this is very interesting question. Yeah, it was not easy. If you stay with me, you wonder, when they come to my place, they wonder why I work hard. And it was not easy, first of all, to manage the season. We have almost like 9 departments. I have to take care of administration. I have to preach. Sometimes I take all the month I'm preaching alone. I have to do a lot of things. Not only preaching locally, also sometimes I go outside. So the thing is, there is something that I wrote. If you have my book, at the beginning I talk about some 3 things. There are 11, but in the book about 3 about Christ. Jesus did a lot of things, but he didn't have 28 hours. He had the same 24 hours like us. In those 24 hours, he has to pray, he has to eat, he has to eat, he has to do all that. What I came to find out, God has given us, all of us, the same opportunity, but it depends on how we make ourselves available to use this opportunity. Even I can just have something with Pastor was just showing there. There are people, they are born again, but they are not yet free from time. The Bible says redeeming the time. When they say redeem means take it back. Amen. That is what we call planning. That is called what leading of the Holy Spirit. There are people, they are not yet free, but they are free in general. But concerning time, they work hard, they do what they intend them. They do what they are going to face on that day. I don't work like that. And sometimes I know situations are there, but when I've planned for something, I do first what I have to do. Then I'll come back to that. So it was not really easy, it required me sometimes I'm not living all the night, but I have to do things as everybody. I have to attend prayer like everybody. I have to preach without complaining, and it increases my capacity.
Oh, so that's so nice. And back to the congregation, I can just say, I want to put this thing like, you cannot say that you're busy. It's just a matter of priorities. According to our brother, because he had a vision to write, to come up with a book. He's one of the people who regularly attend the church programs, apart from other people. We're all students, but still, because it was in his mind, he was focused to come up with something and write the book. So don't consider yourself like so busy, or maybe he doesn't have 48 hours, not 72 hours per day, 24 hours per day like you do. So please, if you think you can achieve something, don't be bounded in the things that other people do. You can be extraordinary. Praise God. So I want to come up a bit from the book. you know, you are soon leaving, you'll be going back to Congo, we are going to miss you so much, our brother. And maybe when do you plan maybe to, the time that our pastor was saying, when do you plan maybe to get married, you know, our sister-in-law, maybe. Say something about it.
I knew actually sister went for this question. I know there is also camera for me and all that.
Yeah, it is important, though we are so busy, to have a future. I would like one day my son, daughter, reading my book. So let's say 4 years.
Oh, 4 years from now. Oh, brother Roger, no. 4 years from now. I think it's too much. But yeah.
You asked me a question. I gave you the answer.
But you know, sisters, you know, always, even in the house, sisters are always anxious to get sisters, you know. So that's why I'm asking why it is too long.
Okay, maybe if they have a suggestion, they can write it on the paper, they can say.
Suggest, and the door is open. Back to the congregation, I can say if you have any question that you're interested, that you can ask Brother Roger, you can write on a piece of paper, and you're gonna give to the usher. We're gonna ask him in front. So back to the book, Brother Roger, you know, it really wasn't a simple job to complete the book, and maybe someone somewhere is dreaming of one day becoming an author just like you. So what were the challenges that you faced from the beginning up to this time that you are completing, and today we are going to launch your book here for the first time in Molana? So what are the challenges, or what can you say?
Yeah, it was really hard. Very, very hard. We didn't have an opportunity to hear people. I would request him if one day can also make something like these people to understand what it costs to write a book. But I don't know where people is. It has been a tough work. Not only that, you know, even for the printing, it costs money. And you know, you have to have that enough faith to write a book, mostly spiritual things. Because people have done theology. I've never been in any school of theology. Whatever I do is just my God's grace. And you know, you can be discouraged by many factors, like maybe someone who has a high level of understanding of the Bible. Whenever you take my book, he's going to criticize me, he's going to say, why did he say that? That's why I said, you need the permission of God. You need God to let you know right. And whenever he says right, you feel like, yes, it is him, he's telling you. So I wrote the book, you know, it was not easy. For the first time when God spoke to me, like, write a book, I thought as God said, he's going to give me the title, no, he's going to give me the subtopics, like, first chapter, you write like this. It was difficult. I knew the title for all the year, and I know I was like so curious, if I can use the right word, because God spoke to me on Wednesday. Already on Thursday, I went to see a certain brother who knew very well to speak English, brother Good Luck. Already interested him to edit, you know. That's what sometimes we say, faith, you believe, you anticipate. Then after 3 months, after 4 months, he called me, brother, since you let me know that your book, but at that time I knew only the title. Until he departed, he did like 1 year and 6 months, then I was able to write something. And on that stage, I was supposed to go on to publish. Now I was receiving advice. Some they say, you put it in volumes, you say 2 big book, and this and that, this and that. So I was somehow having a lot of things in my head. But I reached a point, I said, okay, maybe this was also a tryout. I put it aside. One day I was just talking with Pastor Mary, having a conversation, you know. As you know, most of the time when he's here, he always encourage me and all that. It was like, Roger, the way you do it, I love your leadership, you know. I wish you to increase the things of God, to be a big man of God, to impact nations and all that, even to write books. Then I said, Pastor, I have already a book, and I don't know, you have a book? Can you please send it to me? I will read it. Then I emailed the book. Then after 2 days, he called me. Wow, Roger, this is amazing. This is your book? Tell me, how did you write it? Then I explained, God spoke to me like this. I said, I feel sorry that we have to publish this book. So he helped me a lot. He's even the one who searched for me where I have to bring the book and found all the things required. And he helped me every time, was pushing me. Sometimes I was like, I will publish it when I will get a job, maybe when I will be married and this and that. He was like, Roger, when are you going to come in Chandigarh? We go and meet the printer. When are you going to come? We go for editing. When I go, so why is he so much more than the author? Then I understood it was a great weapon for the publication of this book. So it was not easy. 3 years before I died.
Oh, that was amazing.
Thank you.
So, there might be many people here who would want to become an author. So, is there any advice that you want to give them?
Yeah, if there is someone want to be an author, first of all, be an author. Because writing is not easy. Speech like this, as we are speaking, I didn't prepare. I was like, any question you ask me, I'm going to answer. But for books, it's not like that. You have to pray. Let me tell you something I faced when I was writing my book. Sometimes you are praying, God is speaking to you. You pray, you pray, you pray, you pray, you pray, you pray. In your spirit, you feel like God has spoken to you even for the book. Once you sit down after your prayer, you take the pen all out. You be like, I heard something very powerful. I heard this sentence. What is it? You start punching sometimes your room. You start punching the wall, looking for it. Sometimes you'll be like, and when you see a phone call, sometimes you're like, what is it? Then I came to understand that to move in a certain level with God, you have to renew your mind for that level. I reach a certain level where I can be like this, somebody's preaching, everybody's watching the preaching, but he said something that the Holy Spirit is telling me, put in the book in this way. So it was not easy, mostly when you want to write things, spiritual things. In some time I was in class, the teacher is just teaching there. But I just feel the Holy Spirit. In my notebook, chemistry notebook, you found the Ezekiel 3. And once I'm back, I collect and it became a book. So to become an author, don't think about that, right? So I said that my country, people believe in resources. We are rich, we are having God, we are having all that, all the periodic table, chemistry periodic table is in God, all. We have all, but we don't have God at the center. So all those resources, they have been unto us as an idol, right? We are rich. When you just touch a company, we have all things, we have. But if we can put God at the center, those resources will profit unto us. The Bible says that if my people are called by my name, humble themselves, and call upon me, I will heal the land. We have the resources, but the land needs the healing. So I wrote the book also in the prophetic way. Today, tomorrow, maybe 10 years, 20 years, people won't understand that sentence. But years after, people will understand. Like Martin Luther King, which prophesied. So I wrote the book on 3 dimensions.
So, Brother Roger, what else can you do that we don't know? What can you tell to the church maybe, apart from preaching, apart from, you are not an author, apart from writing the book, what else can you do? This, it has been like a surprise, People never expected that Brother Roger can come up with a book. VP can one day come with a book, you see? So, I think you can say something, some people like us, we did surprise, one day we surprise us with another thing and you get even a heart attack. So, another thing, can you reveal something that you can do apart from preaching, writing book, anything?
Okay. The first next thing that will surprise many people is when I'll be married. I always say that will be the big surprise for people. And the next thing that I do a lot of things. Maybe you don't have a time. I drive, I do some making, I shave. There are so many things to do. I cook too, very well. More than some sisters sometimes.
So, most of the girls, most of the girls, what Pastor was saying, they cannot that we put someone, I want my husband to know how to cook, so that sometimes if I'm tired, to cook, but I don't think I can cook. So, you also pray for your husband to know how to cook. Praise God.
Amen, but just adding something, she has to know how to cook. I'm so busy, so she has to know how to cook. I'm cooking because I'm simple. Praise God.
So, when you get married, you cannot help your wife to cook because you'll be that.
As long as the Spirit lead me to her.
Oh, you have to. Okay. To the church, I can say I and my sister Ashma, we got the grace of God as among the people in Mulana to read the book of Brother Roger. I think we are the first. We didn't go to Chandika when he was launching his book. We were still here in Mulana, but we got an opportunity to read the book. It's a very nice book. So, Brother Roger, thank you. In chapter 2, in your book, in chapter 2,
I don't have the book in the book because I said I wrote this by provision and inspiration, so I don't know the book.
Okay, fine.
You can help just to say. Yes.
In chapter 2, page 6 in the book, you wrote something about attitudes of prayer.
Yes.
So, what were you trying to tell us? Maybe when we pray, which attitudes were you trying to refer? Should we close our eyes, laying down, sleeping, raising our hands? Which kind of attitudes were you trying to speak?
Yeah, well, obviously, it's a good question because closing your eyes, jumping, sleeping, laying down, these are okay. But sometimes they are religious, so I'm not talking about that level. Because the attitude of prayer, what I'm talking about, I'm talking, for example, an attitude of prayer as a giving. A giving, like the place where you can attract the mind of God in your prayer. You can attract God in your prayer. I'm not just talking you always pray kneeling down, because there are people that kneel down, but their life has not yet knelt down. So the attitude which I'm talking about is not this, or when we lay down and we pray, including that, but more specifically on what can be fruitful. For example, I talk about Cornelius, the centurion. When the angel of the Lord came to him, the angel